Welcome to RXpress, a mobile application developed by
Alexis Anderson.
Abhinav Mayadala.
Amjad Omer.
and Brendan Reeder.
So, what is RXpress? Keeping up with so many different medications for yourself and your dependents can be a daunting task. Having to remember what time to take medications, which medications interact with each other, knowing which medications are taken by who, it all can be tedious and dangerous. You could write it somewhere, but lose where you wrote it or forget about it. You could use a medication box, but that can be a hassle to carry around and organize every week. How does RxPress combat this? RxPress allows for an easy way to keep track of your medications, search severe negative drug interactions, and remind you when you or your dependents need to take their medications. Our team wanted to provide a single place for users to be able to add their prescriptions and over the counter meds, set the frequency they should be taking their medications, and be able to easily search any known drug interactions. So what technologies does RxPress use? RxPress uses RxNorm and drug interaction APIs in order to gather the medical name of medications as well as the interactions that medications may have with other medications or substances. RxPress uses Firebase authentication and cloud storage in order to provide a secure way for users to input their prescriptions under their own account. We also use Gradle files in order to implement packages and libraries for the applications. RxPress uses Kotlin through Android Studio for the base of the application. We decided against React Native and Expo Go since Android Studio allows for an easier building experience and integrated functionality with Firebase. This allowed us easier access to built-in emulators and Firebase capabilities. Using Android Studio and Kotlin allowed us to get very far in our app building process quicker than what we were able to accomplish with React Native and Expo Go.
So this is the demonstration of RxPress. This is a welcome screen where the user can log in, register, or sign in with Google. This is the register screen where the user is able to sign up and create an account for our app. This is our login screen where the user can sign in directly if they already have that account created.
When a user logs in, they can see their profile picture, their name, their prescriptions, a weekly calendar, and reminders. When somebody first logs in, the profile picture, prescriptions, and reminders will be blank until they set these later on. When a user clicks on the menu, they can go to the prescription page, drug interactions, calendar, FAQ, and settings.
In order to add prescriptions, you must click the prescription tab from the drawer. Here you will be greeted with the prescription home screen, which will have by default your prescriptions, but we have added Emma and Paul. In the bottom right corner, you can also add other users. You can add only up to 5 users besides your own. Here I will add SAP. Let's see what Johnny has. You can click your prescriptions and it will show you Johnny's prescriptions. Johnny will be taking Flonase and Tylenol. The screen will always have the user's information from registering at the top of the screen. And for the other users, it will say Emma's prescriptions, Paul's prescriptions, as well as SAP's prescriptions. From these screens, you can add, delete the user, or view more information about a prescription by clicking the name. Here I'll delete Paul's prescriptions, or Paul as a user. You can see that has been deleted from the list. I will now add a prescription to SAP by clicking this plus button. For the prescription name, I'll enter Advil. The API will pull up Advil and we can select it. The dosage, units, and how many times a day, as well as the way it is administered, is required for a prescription to be added. However, other information and the RX number does not need to be added. Once you click the Add Medication button, it will add the prescription to the database. To view the information on the drug, you need to click the drug's name, Advil. You're then greeted with the information screen saying the dosage, the frequency, the way it's administered, the requirements needed, and the RX number. You can also edit it by clicking the edit button. It will have the information entered by the previous user or the previous way you entered it from adding medications. You can see that I've changed food to water. You can also do this again and you can edit the amount of times a day. I'll change from 3 to 4 times a day. I can also delete it and it will work the same as deleting a user. I'll confirm this, go to SAP, and you can see that Advil has been deleted. Now in the drug interactions screen, you can click the top right search button and you can search drugs and see their interactions such as Cymbalta. It'll also have their scientific name as well as their commercial name, such as duoloxetine and Cymbalta. Advil, you can see, has no severe interactions. It'll have a pop-up saying it does not have any interactions. If you don't know how to spell it, our API will help you find the drug you need, such as fluoxetine. And you can see the prescriptions, such as phenelzine with Nardil, and you can see its other name with Reconcile with fluoxetine. These will all be high severe interactions.
When you click on the calendar screen, it comes up with a calendar that has the week. You can click on each day and it will highlight that circle, unless it is the current day, which is a different color. You can also change the week by pressing the forward or backward button at the top, as you can see here. As you scroll down the times, you can see that there are medications on your events. These are already populated from the prescriptions that you put in before. Your prescriptions, the main user, will always be a dark teal, and other users will be different colors. These events can go from 1 a.m. to 12 a.m. the next day. As you can see, there is also an all-day place. These are for personal events. To add a personal event, you click the plus button at the bottom of the screen, type in the name of the event, select the start time and end time, and add an optional description. So for this doctor's appointment, Johnny is adding, it starts at 10 a.m. and it ends at 12 p.m. When they add this event, it will show up on the calendar for the times specified. Personal events will always be in a lighter teal color. To see the details, you'll just click on the event, and then you can see the start time, end time, and details. You can also edit by clicking the edit button down at the bottom. As you can see, all of the fields are already predetermined, and you can just change, say, from 10 a.m. to 8 a.m. That will also be reflected on the calendar. You can also delete a personal event by clicking the delete button. We're going to click on each of the prescriptions and it'll bring up the information about that prescription. We're going to add a filler event in order to show another function. So as you can see, there's a more button. If you click on that, that shows all of your events for that day.
The FAQ page features commonly asked questions organized in expandable tabs. Each of these tabs can navigate directly to certain views where applicable, such as here when it takes you to the prescription screen, or here when it takes you to the calendar screen. At the bottom of the page, we have a place for users to submit their own questions they have. Simply type the question, hit send, and select an email application that you are signed in on, as will be demonstrated here. The email will be pre-filled and question may be sent to us for review.
Now we get to the settings page where the user can log out or go to the profile screen.
When you select the profile screen, you can see the profile picture, your name, and all of your information. If you click on the purple camera icon, you can change your profile picture, which will then also be changed on the home screen. To edit your information, you will click on the Edit Profile button at the bottom of the screen. Here you can change your first name, last name, date of birth, gender, and pronouns. So we are going to change the first name to ABCD, last name to EFGH, and set our date of birth using the date picker. You can also select your gender, which we will select as non-binary, and put in the pronouns that you prefer. When you save that, you will be able to go back to your profile screen and see the updated information.
Thank you for your attention as we demonstrated what RXpress is and what it can do. We hope our app helps in making prescription use smarter and safer.